Alrighty, fellas, yo, what's up? Good morning. My name is Patrouski. Welcome to another PokeMMO stream. Recap your daily source of tips, tricks, information, conversation, and everything that's happening inside the PokeMMO community. A quick update, your daily source of just getting caught up on what's going on in the PokeMMO community. We're gonna get to that here in a quick second, okay? But first things first, I wanted to remind people that the event ends. A lot of people have been asking, when does the event end, Patrouski? The event ends at November 14th at 11:59 p.m. UTC. Now that is basically, at the night of, you know, November 14th. One of the best updates, one of the best hidden things the PokeMMO devs started doing that I actually asked them to do. I don't know if they like heard whatever, right? But like they started doing, and I complained about it for a little bit, and they made the shit, which is awesome. We want to shout out that positive change, right? One of the coolest updates they started doing that nobody noticed, nobody paid attention to, was they used to list the end dates of events at November 15th at midnight at 12 a.m., right? But so a lot of people, oh, the event ends on November 15th. Okay, I don't have to worry about it until then. Actually, no. When you end the event at November 15th at midnight, it actually ends on November 14th at like 8 p.m. my time, right? It's UTC. Let's do like 8 p.m. UTC to ET. Let's do it over here. That would be, let's do midnight. Sorry, midnight UTC to ET, right? In my time zone, it's around, I think, around 9 p.m. right now after the daylight savings change or whatever. So like the event should end around 9 p.m. I believe my time. Let's double check. Well, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. I think 7 p.m. my time is when the event should end. But a lot of players would get confused and tricked by that little date difference. So they they changed it. Instead of November 15th at midnight, they changed it to November 14th at 11:59 just to give players a better idea of the day, which I think is a beautiful small little clarity change that I really appreciate it. Next up, we have some catch events to cover. They're coming up. I know they're during the event, so a lot of people might miss them, but it's important information. We have the Mr. Mime catch event coming up. Mr. Mime catch event coming up on the 8th of November at 1 p.m. ET, Route 210 Sinnoh. You have 1 hour to catch Mr. Mime, Scyther, Sudowoodo, Breloom, etc., etc., etc. Naughty Nature is +5. And then you have a chance to win a shiny Mr. Mime, which is like a super fucking amazing, a super good shiny Pokemon to win free from catch event. Next up, the Clefairy catch event we covered before. 9th of November, Sunday, 3 p.m. ET, Mount Moon, Kanto, Clefairy, Sandshrew, Geodude, Zubat, some nature bonuses. You have a chance to win a shiny Cleffa. And then next up, Q has responded a few times with the Ctrl+A situation. I like this response a lot more. So I'm going to go ahead and read this one. So a lot of people have been wondering about the Ctrl+A situation, which was considered by the devs to be a bug, which is kind of funny because it was a thing that's been adapted by the player base for, forever. And it's one of those things where like if something is in the game and 90% of the player base perceives it as, it's hard to tell the percentage if I'm spitballing, but like a large percentage of the player base has been using that piece of content, and they use it as a hotkey, a shortcut, right? For years, and for 4 to 5 years, and then you nerf it. Is that really a bug, or is it a feature that was adapted? I think it comes down to like social like adjustment, right? So we're like, if you use something in a certain way, it socially changes to that thing, my personal opinion. But the more important thing is better support. He responds basically. So I'm talking about this. Better support key repeat will be included in the next client update, as was mentioned. The previous feature was a happenstance of UI bugs found by the players and left untouched for years. It is being re-implemented with intentionality. I think this is the most important sentence. It's being re-implemented with intentionality. So Ctrl+Z is confirmed coming back. And he already kind of said this in a previous post, but it wasn't as clear in my personal opinion. So I like this very clear. It is being re-implemented with intentionality. So they're going to make it a little bit slower is what it seems like. And then I also wanted to say, there's been a lot of back and forth. We're going to talk a little bit on this, but I want to dwell on it because it just gets depressing, right? The player and developer communication situation right now is rough. I appreciate that Q is communicating. Q has been talking more over this past week than I've seen him talk maybe in the history of PokeMMO. And whether it's, I agree with everything or not, you gotta fucking appreciate the conversation that is happening. And Q goes on to say, like, from my perspective, the Ctrl+A thing was a mundane UI fix, and the reaction was very perplexing when players at me. Or so let me read that. Very perplexing. I will say, like, this is a little disappointing. I wish the players talked to or the devs talk to the players more, because we would have avoided this. Like, the reaction wouldn't have been perplexing if you talked to the players and understood that they were using the Ctrl+A. Like, that's anybody who's anybody was using Ctrl+A in almost any, like, it was a very, very understood thing. I think obviously the casual players aren't, which is fair, like, but like you should be able to. I feel like this is a pretty easy thing to be aware of if you're listening to the hardcore players at all, right? Which is a little frustrating, but it is what it is. Then he goes on to say, when players at me, I'm not always acting as the development team's point of contact, and sometimes I respond informally. This is in response to, I think everybody knows this. I think Q is a little bit sassy at times, and it's something that I relate to. I kind of think I don't know him obviously personally as a person at all, but from the little glimpses I see, I kind of think me and Clue are very, or not Clue, me and Q are very similar in that way to some extent. Think about it from Q's perspective. We have a long history of communicating with the devs. For the past 13 years, Q has been developing this game, right? And every single time the developers communicate, they get attacked by some group of people. They get shit on, whether it's like 3 to 10 people that shit on them versus, you know, the problem is the positive, the kind will just stay quiet, because why would you, if you go to a restaurant and you have a good experience, you're very not likely to leave a good review. It's expected. Oh yeah, of course I had a good experience at the restaurant I paid money for, right? But if you have a bad experience, you're way more likely to leave a comment or a review or whatever. So, because it's more out of the norm. So it's more likely that negative comments happen, and the devs have to deal with some of the like most negative, like shittiest parts of the people of the internet and of the community. It sucks that the devs often have to deal with the worst parts and don't get to see the positives of the best parts. I get to go live as a content creator and talk to a lot of amazing people who love the game and are here literally just to hang out, just talk about the game. That helps me ward off the bitter perspective and helps me like fight off like negative comments that I get every single day, right? So the devs like have it worse than me, and they've been doing it for like 13 years. You have to keep in mind. I empathize a lot with the devs and how this. I think, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I think the devs are kind of bitter towards the player base to some extent, not all of them, but just sometimes, and they kind of respond sassily sometimes. And I kind of get it. We troll a little here, yeah. I kind of get it. That doesn't make it okay. The way that I'll describe it as, I'm gonna compare it to what I do, right? If 99 people ask me, hey Patrouski, how can I make Pokeyen in the Halloween event, right? You probably should just Google that question. It's not a bad question, but you probably should just Google it type thing. If I respond kindly to the 99 people, and then on the 100th person, I'm like, dude, you should, like, you know, I snap on them. Oh, you should just go, come on, like, just go Google it. Like, come on, what are you doing, dude? Blah, 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 right? Like, that happens. I'm a person. It always happens. Watch my streams. It's part of the reality, right? And I think this is what happens with the devs a lot as well, where, like, they respond decently well a lot of the times, but then when they do have a sassy reply, it looks bad, and it's still, that sassy reply is still not good. It's one of those things where like you can have empathy towards the situation, but it's still not good. Does that make sense? Like, every time I snap at a viewer, it's not a good thing. I'm not proud of that, but it's also a thing that's gonna happen. Mistakes are gonna happen. So I empathize with the devs, and I respect you acknowledging that he responds informally sometimes. It's just one of those things where it is what it is. All we can do as a community, the solution, we would acknowledge the problem. The solution is we need to take control of our actions and respond as not sassily as possible and as not as civil as possible. And personally, I actually feel like it's happening. I feel like I made a video recently about 2 or 3 weeks ago called like I'm very disappointed in the PokeMMO community. I am actually very proud of the PokeMMO community in one way. We're pendulum swinging in a certain way today. I actually do feel like, I'm not going to show a lot of the posts today, but I actually do feel like there's been a lot more civil critique. People have been going over points and examples and like explaining their argumentation, not just calling the dev slurs. Who would have thunk it? It's really, really cool. Like, I do think players are getting much better at leaving their critique. Now, the problem that I'm noticing, this is the last time I talk about this to a fair bit, I'm going to do a better job of changing my stream content around this. I think the problem now is that we are making good critique. I'm just sharing my thoughts and opinions. Feel free to disagree with whatever I'm saying, right? Just do it respectfully, please. I think now we're at a point where we are disagreeing. We're talking with the devs constructively and with good conversation and good critique. but now we're pendulum swinging. So I want to say a few months ago, it was really rare to find good critique on the forums. It was almost always people being overly emotional, crashing out, yada, yada, yada. And I'm talking kind of informally right now, but just take it with a grain of salt, right? It was almost always, so the pendulum was always over here, right? And now we've gotten way better. Now we are communicating productively. Now the pendulum swung. The problem now is that people are writing a productive critique every single day. Every single day there is like 2 to 3 posts on how to change the future of PokeMMO, how to fix alphas, how to, the Ctrl+Z situation, the E4 rerun nerfs, yada yada yada. And then we cannot be, it's better. This side of the pendulum is better than this side, don't get me wrong. Unproductive critique is so much worse than productive critique, but we can't even be productive critiquing every day because it just wears people down, and it makes everybody not want to. You become apathetic, you become exhausted, you become drained, and simply engaging or playing the game becomes exhausting. So if we can get back to if we can pendulum swing, if we can go whoop whoop and then boop back in the middle, if we can pendulum swing one more time, we can get it to where once every 2 weeks we write up a constructive post critiquing things, or once a month. Constructive critique and productive critique is so fucking important for the future of the game. You cannot be worrying about it every single day. At a certain point, there are people that I'm noticing who talk about the game more than they're playing the game, right? And that's not healthy. As I'm sitting here in Lavender Town running around talking about the game for 20 minutes, I'm part of the problem, okay? And I'm going to try to be better about that. But I think it's an important thing to mention. So sorry for that long little ramble. We have other things to cover. Let's go ahead and on a positive note, I wanted to shout out some up and coming, or just content creators that have been around but are underrated. I shouldn't even say up and coming for one of these guys. Up and coming and or just underrated Pokemon content creators. Zemnadine is kicking butt. I used his guides for the Sinnoh Wisps and the Kanto Wisps and like some of the Wisps. He also has the Pumpcat guide. Go check him out. He has some amazing Wisp guides, the amazing Pumpcat guide. He's doing some really fucking cool stuff. He's been underrated for a while with all of his money making guides and like stuff talking about the Pokemon economy. And I think now during the event season, I'm hoping he gets more of the subs and credit he deserves. Check out Zemnadine. Next up is Cav. A lot of you guys know Cav. Cav's been around for years at this point, but he is my go-to resource for raids when it comes to raid guides in PokeMMO. He is truly a raid specialist and understands the mechanics to a very, very deep degree. He helps me get through the raids every single event season, and even has a notepad, or not notepad, a proper document going through like a cheat sheet of all that stuff. So just check out Zemnadine and Cav. They are both doing amazing stuff. Truly like public service workers for PokeMMO. They make videos that help the PokeMMO community, and that's something that is like truly, truly, truly amazing. Next up, I want to go ahead and do a market check, and this brings up some of the critiques I saw, some of the forum posts I saw were about genuine concern of the Pokemon market, and they were written in a really good way. I don't know what your name was, but it was someone with a Primeape logo on the forums. I really liked your post. Shout out to you. I'm sorry for not knowing your name off the top of my head, but there's a lot of people who were constructively talking and doing a lot of really cool stuff, right? So RP, right? 1000 RP. 1000 RP has tanked quite a bit. 1.8 mil Pokeyen. This is the cheapest I have seen RP in I don't know how long. This is extremely, extremely cheap. This is brutal. This is brutal. 1.8 mil for this is really, 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 really crazy. Take with that what you will. I'm just doing market price checks, okay? Goodie bags, 9,800. Actually holding their prices pretty well, but it's because people aren't farming the pumpkin on easy moves. It's not that profitable. Pumpkin goodie bags now under, I believe, from this year. Here they are now under 20k, well under 20k, 18k. Man, pumpkin. Let's check the amount on the market. 39,000. The in-stock amount has gone up. Holy crap. Oh my goodness. 39k, dude. 39k. Wow. 39,000 of these on the market. And it brings up a good concern. I think one of the biggest concerns right now, let me do my full market check and we'll get to it. Special candies down to 36,000. This is day 6, by the way, the beginning of day 6, beginning of day 6 price check. Spooky candy, 19, around 20k. Crazy, those are 20k and specials are 36k. Mysterious dust balls, I haven't checked this one yet, I'm curious. Down to around 46k. I said that once they reach the like 38 to 44k price range, I would buy any and all of them, but that's me personally. Do whatever you want to do. Now I'm really curious. We expect prices to be dropping. Don't like panic. A lot of new players may not understand this. We expect prices to drop. Like prices should drop from the start of the event until around the midpoint, if not a little bit later, right? That's normal. Prices, some more supplies coming in, right? At the start of the event, there's the least amount of supply. No one's playing the event, and now all of a sudden, there's like people are playing the event. The people are farming swarms, selling dust balls. All the supplies coming in, and there's not much demand because people aren't investing yet. So it's lowest demand, highest supply. Prices should, it's really basic, but prices should be super, super, super low. I've seen dust ball prices float around a little bit, Tom, but it's not, they are tanking much slower than other things, which is interesting. Next up, the ultra rare vanities, the green slime down to 2.8 mil. The mermaid, both mermaid items, the costume, understandably down to 650k. I would love to see like 1 mil. The mermaid hair, it's honestly impressive. The mermaid hair is holding its value. I think people really, really care about which is based. It's a vanity that a lot of people love. How many are on the market? 61. I respect that this feels like a vanity that a lot of people really care about. And then the deer skull. The deer skull is holding an insanely good price. A lot of the ultra rares, the amount of ultra rares there are is awesome. And then I think that a lot of the ultra rares are holding their value because there's so many, what's it called? There's so many, fuck, I'm distracted. Sorry. There's so many ultra rares available, as well as the deer skull is holding its value because there is a, it's only from the PvP boxes. The deer skull is only from the Halloween mystery box. So it's holding its value very, very well, where most people are distracted by, they're not really, most people aren't engaging with this sealed product, right? Yeah, the deer skull is pretty rare. It's harder to get that. You get like less mystery boxes. I'm curious to see how the mystery boxes do as a sealed product. New sealed product is usually something to watch out for as an investment. And then next up, I just have a few more things I want to talk about really quick. So I already talked about how I wanted to praise the players for better critiques. So shout out to you guys for like talking better and having better conversation. But I also wanted to mention investing is changing, in my opinion, in PokeMMO. And it's something I mention every single year, and I've been trying to mention. Investing is going to get worse and worse every year, because it's not a bad thing though. It's a good thing, honestly. Investing will get less and less profitable per individual player every single year. We're seeing it this year very dramatically, in my opinion. We don't know for sure yet, but we'll see. Because as information spreads, there's less pieces of the pie, right? When less people were investing 2 years ago, you could make 100% return on investment. You could buy 8 mil of mysterious balls and then sell them for 16 mil 3 months later. That's insane. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. It should not be happening. But it was because people didn't have the patience. People didn't have the just the financial education. People are getting way better at that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff to factor in there, as well as I wanted to mention, I do feel like, I think a lot of players have been bringing this up, and you can tell based on the amount of pumpkin goodie bags coming into the market. I do feel like the vanity supply, I'm a little concerned. The vanity supply seems so high for almost every single vanity except for the ultra rares. But we'll see. I mean, maybe it's better than I expect, honestly. Puffy witch dress. There's only 27 of those. Actually, wait a minute. Maybe I'm gonna fact check my own. I had a premise. Maybe I'm just wrong. How many froggies? 125 froggies. I think I'm eating my own words. My apologies. I was thinking that the vanity supply was too high. I don't know if it is. Personally, on my personal thoughts, I don't know if the vanity supply is too high. If there's 34 deer skulls, but only 125 froggies. To me, that makes me think there isn't too much of a supply of vanities. It's more so just that the demand is so low right now. I think most people right now aren't caring about drip. Aren't like obviously Frankenstein pants are cheap, but like there's 272. It's not that crazy. Yeah, I'm curious to see. I think most people right now, I think the demand is just not there. I think once we have more people who, everybody right now is, keep in mind, you cannot judge this event's market yet. We have to wait until we see the other side of it. There's good reason to be concerned, but I'm really interested. Yeah, I respect the self-factoring, and sometimes I'm fucking wrong. Like that, I think I'm wrong. I went into this assuming the vanity supply was too high because the sealed product is so high, but it almost feels like the prices of vanities are just low because the demand isn't there. It's not that the supply is too high. The demand isn't there from the numbers that I'm seeing, as well as people aren't opening as much sealed product. And once again, that comes from education. That comes from, oh yeah, it's like, imagine if sealed Magic the Gathering packs went down in price because people stopped opening packs. Like that's a like educate. You probably just shouldn't open, you know, like that's like that, you know. This person says, speaking of drip, this person has crazy good drip. They can pop out of it. Yeah, this person has crazy good drip. Anyways, so I feel like a lot of the current effects on the market is just education spreading, but we'll have to see how it. We'll have to see. I'm really curious. This is the most interesting event market I've seen in probably two to 3, 4 years. And I'm really curious to see how it plays out and how the other side of the event. We have to see the back end of the event, how many people start really going into investments, how much money people dump into investments. I'm really curious to see. So I will see you guys with that. I'll see you with any more questions from chat. Let's go ahead and jump into the actual gameplay today and play some PokeMMO and do some cool shit on the Iron Man today, because I am planning to open over 200 goodie bags. I have been grinding. I've been farming. I've been working my ass off trying to work towards this on the Iron Man account, dude. Trying to get some of those ultra rare vanities. Let's jump into it. Now, this is a great question. I would say it's largely a misconception, but you can make some profit on this if you really time things perfectly, but I would not plan for this. Someone said, should I sell dust balls and special candy near the end of the event, like 1 or 2 days before it ends? Probably not. You want to sell everything now or hold it as an, there's two options. I have tons of videos covering event economics 101 and covering my thoughts on investments in PokeMMO, but there's generally two options when it comes to investing in or making money on an event during PokeMMO. Opening is not one of the options. Opening always loses money. The two options are save it as an investment or sell it now and then like buy back later as an investment during the second half, right? You don't want to be selling during the final few days because it's risky. It's like day trading crypto is the best way to describe. Like so fucking risky. If something spikes on the final day and you want to sell, you can, but there's a chance that item keeps going up and there's a chance that it goes down after the FOMO is worn out. You'll notice a lot of FOMO. The final 2 days of the market is the most insane, intense. There's no logic. There's no rhyme or reason during the final 2 days of the event because everybody is FOMO panicking. There are a lot of people who will think to themselves, oh my goodness, I love the Froggy Vanity. I still don't have one from this event. I need to buy one now or I'll never get one. That's not true. The Froggy Vanities aren't going anywhere. They're still going to be in the game, right? There won't be any more coming in from when the event ends. So a lot of prices you might see spike up from FOMO at the end of the event, but most things that spike up at the end of the event go back down. It's the fear of missing out. It's the panic. A lot of people will be like, oh shit, I really want a Froggy. Oh no, I really want a Froggy. They'll buy a Froggy in the final 2 days, and then a week after the event is over, be like, I don't really want this Froggy. Let me just sell it in Shiny Hunt. Like a lot of people, so like keep an eye out for those mistakes. You can make profit off of other people's mistakes, which is sad, but it's also like I try to encourage you guys not to make those mistakes yourself. Hopefully that helps answer your question to some extent. I wouldn't look to sell stuff in the final 2 days, but it's like a if the opportunity arises type situation. Good question. Hopefully clarify for other people. No, you're kind of spitting facts, Joe. I think you're right, Joe Roswell. Am I crazy or the raid must have a new outline? Yeah, look at this, like it's only in the raid fights. Look at this, like little white outline. I think you're right. I think that's new to this event. Very small little visual change, but it makes it more clear. I don't know how you could confuse the raid mod and I don't know. I like, you know, visual clarity is always welcome in my opinion. That's a very good shout. Very good eye, Joe Roz. This is a great question. What is the reasoning behind not being able to send a friend request to someone who's offline? I don't know if there is any reason aside from technical limitations. That's a big quality of life thing that I've been asking for forever that I would love in PokeMMO is the ability to send like friend requests via mail while someone's offline or even like team invites. We have the mail system. That's a great quality of life thing to push for, I think, more actively. Just small stuff like that like really affects everybody in the game. It's a great thing to bring up. Great question. Okay, dude, I was just asking around. I was really curious if the Golurk dude recorded his reaction as well. Is that true? If we can find, I would love to see that. Apparently, I was asking if anybody had seen a raid shiny because you do have a chance to get a shiny alpha, a reward from the raids, and there was one that we know of so far. There is a SHALPHA Golurk that was gotten from the raid. And like, it's not just a SHALPHA Golurk, it's a SHALPHA Golurk from the raid. Like, that makes it more special in my book. That shit is rare as hell. It's very beautiful. MrBiscottes, what a sick name as well. Congrats to him. If I can find that, yeah, recording that reaction. Also, Golurk is probably my favorite. Ooh, Golurk or like Absol. Actually, a lot of the, to be fair, Golurk, Absol, Scolipede would all go bonkers, to be fair. Wait, oh, something bad happened in my raid. One sec. We gotta reset. That's crazy. But yeah, the SHALPHA Golurk is crazy. All right, thanks to something called Metal Shadow Play or something like that, we actually do have, and shout out to the person for having this installed. I can't believe it. Like, I record every time when I'm shiny hunting, but even this, like, this is crazy. I can't believe we actually have footage of this Golurk. I'm gonna go ahead and just play it. Congrats to this guy. Oh, what's his name again? MrBiscottes? MrBiscottes, let me double check in chat. He's in chat right now. MrBiscottes got the first ever. Shout out Team Mush. I feel like I always see Team Mush members in game. They're always playing the game. Member of Team Mush, MrBiscottes, got the only raid shiny so far this year. Literally the best SHALPHA utility Pokemon in the entire game. SHALPHA Golurk. You can use it as a single encounter. It's the best single encounter lead Pokemon for shiny hunting. Let's go ahead and stop stalling and finally watch the clip.
Regarde-toi, on a aussi fail parce que bah il y avait juste un cornet en moins et le béquipant qui avait pas craché.
Volume warning. So watch, it's very minute.
Parce que bah
can you see it? His encounter counter went down to 0, which means he got a shiny, but I don't know if he noticed yet or what to see.
Il y avait juste un cornet en moins et le béquipant qui avait pas craché mais
ouais, mais c'est parce que en fait justement on n'avait pas respecté la strat et on n'était pas calibré, mais du moment que tu calibres c'est fini.
Oh, that gasp just gave me fucking life. Are you kidding me? You literally don't know it's shiny. Like, it doesn't show the shiny sprite until you catch it.
Parce que en fait, justement, on n'avait pas respecté la strat, on n'était pas calibré, mais du moment que tu calibres, c'est fini. C'est easy.
That noise he just made is what it's all about. Oh my god. Literally his first Golurk. That was the Golurk that logged Golurk into his Pokedex. You are kidding. That is his first ever Golurk encounter. Is he at? It's hard to see. 7,000 encounters. That's it. 7,600 encounters.
SHALPHA, SHALPHA, la vie de ma mère.
Oh. Quoi?
La vie de ma mère.
This reaction is so good.
Tu te fous de ma gueule.
Non.
Oh, il est shiny alpha.
Oh le bâtard.
Oh le bâtard.
Shiny alpha.
One of my favorite shiny reactions of the year.
Et en plus il est bien.
Bro can't breathe. Like
Team.
Oh,
holy shit.
He's like, he's bringing up the, he's misclicking, bringing up the
FAQ.
So excited to type. Oh, this is so hype. What an amazing fucking moment to have recorded. Shout out to MrBiscottes for recording that. Dude, much love to you. What a moment. What a beautiful, what a literally historical shiny. Yeah, the French dude. Yeah, what a historical shiny for PokeMMO. Congratulations. It might be the only raid SHALPHA we see in 2025. Like, well, in Halloween we'll have to see. Congratulations. What an amazing one to get. I love shiny Golurk. That is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful clip, dude. Congratulations, Scotty. I can't congratulate you enough. Thank you for recording it. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for making history. Congratulations. What a fucking sick moment to witness, dude. Alrighty, fellas, really good progress today on the Ironman account as always. Had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed as well. Thank you guys for always playing, talking, hanging out, chatting, making PokeMMO a better game. I've been loving the event season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying as well. Like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike if not. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload every single day. Follow me on Twitch for streams usually Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. I'll probably be live tomorrow though, Friday as well, since I skipped out on Wednesday. Take a nice little break. Discord's down below if you're not want to go above and beyond, support the content. It does help me out a ton, guys. Allow me to be here. YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo donations really allow me to make the amount of content that I can. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you later, and keep enjoying the Halloween events. Hell yeah. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I wanted to take this time to say thank you to everyone who goes above and beyond and supports my channel. Your names are all listed here. You make it possible for me to make helpful and mildly entertaining content for the game that I love and make it available for free for everyone to enjoy. Thank you so much for allowing me to even be here.